Okay, and we are live. Hi, I'm Philip Lee. I'm with the Seward County Community College Public Relations and Marketing Department. And this morning I am with SCC head tennis coach Mitch Vechione. How are you today, Mitch?
Good. How's everything going?
Pretty good. Enjoying the snow?
Not too much. Not,
Okay.
I want to be out on the court, but other than that, I mean, it's not too bad. We're still getting workouts in, so it's
Okay. Well, you are one of three new coaches here at the college, and we just want the community to get to know you. And so let's just start with that. So, Mitch, where are you from?
I'm originally from El Paso, Texas, but I went off to, I played for three different schools in college, and I've coached pretty much all around New Mexico, Oklahoma, and now here in Kansas. So, I mean, it's been a great experience so far. But yeah, my previous school, I was the head coach at New Mexico Military Institute in Roswell, New Mexico.
Hmm.
That's where I was before here.
So how long were you there as a coach?
I was only there from February 2020 to about a month ago.
Okay.
So it wasn't too long, but it was yeah. And then I was an assistant coach before that. So
Okay. So how long were you actually there?
in Roswell,
Yes.
from February to October.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So what was the interest? What's the interest or what attracted you to Seward?
I mean, every sport is such a powerhouse. I mean, in every aspect. But tennis, I mean, they just finished second in the nation on the guys' side, eighth on the girls' side, and I mean, it was just an opportunity that I just couldn't pass up. I mean, it's just the opportunity to grow, to build this team, to build a dynasty, keep that dynasty, and keep that legacy alive. So, I mean, it was an easy choice on my end.
Okay. So this this semester has been sort of filled with a lot of challenges, and from all sports, and particularly for you, I'm sure. So tell us a little bit about the challenges that you're facing this semester or this year, actually.
This year, so this semester, I mean, I just got in, but all my players, half of them aren't in yet. Some of them, their borders didn't open up, so they weren't allowed to get here, so they're doing online school. And so I've only got, and then I had one kid, he had to leave, in the middle of the semester. So I'm only with four boys and four girls. So, I mean, I really won't be clicking until, January comes and I'll get everybody in, that was already here that are sophomores. And I've got a couple recruits in on both sides coming in January. So, I mean, it's been tough, but we've been able to work around it this fall, but I can't wait for January. I mean, it's going to be great.
So how has it been sort of a transition for you for the team? Our coach had left, and now coming into the situation, and especially with the amount of players that you have, how have you had to adjust or try to get those kids motivated?
It's because I got in so quick, and I mean, right away, we started practice, we started, all of that normal, the normal things that we've been doing. I mean, it's been tough, but these players are great. They're such nice kids. They're great on the court, off the court. I mean, their grades are incredible. So, I mean, they've made it easier on me, but I mean, it's been tough in, the other aspects, trying to build a schedule, trying to set up practices, see what works with these players, what doesn't work. I mean, it's been difficult, but it's been great at the same time. I've really built a relationship with these players so far. I mean, I've only been here 2 weeks. It's been great.
Hmm. So how important is that to build that relationship and to sort of to give them the understanding like where you're coming from and vice versa?
Yeah, I mean, it's very important. I mean, because I want these kids to know that, I'm always here for them. But, I mean, business first. Business first. And they seem to understand that. They seem to, like my philosophy, like the way I go about things. So, I mean, we haven't had any problems. So, I mean, they seem to be enjoying, the way I go about everything. So, I mean, it's really been smooth.
Hmm. And one of the things is that you said that you're from New Mexico military, and obviously military is a discipline. What kind of style do you have? Are you more of a disciplinarian, no nonsense, or how would you say that your style is?
I'm pretty like yeah, that whole military thing that probably makes me look a little scary, but No, I mean, as long as you do what, as long as you do what I ask, I mean, it's smooth sailing. There's no problems, but it's just when things don't get done and, and I ask you and they just simply don't get done. That's when I get a little strict. But for the most part, I'm pretty laid back, pretty, just pretty comfortable with everybody. But it's just when things, aren't being done, that's when I get just a little strict.
So let's talk about expectations. What are your expectations on the court, and what are your expectations as a student athlete as well?
Okay, expectations on the court. I'm trying to get, back to that top five on the, men's and women's. That's the goal in the country. But, as a student athlete, my main concern is grades. And I want to make sure that these kids get every class that they need in, to graduate and to move on to a 4-year school. Because, I mean, yes, a lot of these kids are talented and they can, make it as a pro. But my biggest thing is, getting that paper, getting that degree, and making sure that they're set after tennis, after school. And that's my biggest thing.
Okay. Well, do you think that the team could have possibilities of doing continuing success and being top 5?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The caliber of players that are here, that are coming, that are returning in January, it's incredible. And then I've got just a couple boys and 1 or 2 girls coming in the spring that I really feel like they'll make an impact as well. So
now,
we're looking pretty good.
Great. So in terms of recruiting, how has that gone? I mean, obviously, I'm sure, again, you sort of had to hit the ground running. Has that been a problem for you?
Not too much. I mean, not in my case, because I'm, mostly international. I mean, I know right now it's hard recruiting in the States, but for the most part, I'm just going through recruiters, going through connections and everything like that. So, I mean, it's still been pretty simple. It's, it's tough on their end because, trying to get in the country, is their country going to let them in? So that's been the only difficult part. But, I mean, for the most part, it's been pretty great. It's been pretty easy.
And speaking of that, in terms of COVID, how has procedure safety that you guys have been taking? Has it been a little bit, I mean, obviously, again, you've only been here a couple of weeks, but have you had to adjust? And speaking of that, in terms of recruiting, has that hampered you because you can't get the kids, you can't start to talk to them, and vice versa?
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty simple because tennis, I mean, it got rated the safest, activity to do during these, during this pandemic. So, I mean, I really haven't had to change anything on that, like practice-wise and everything like that. Just keep them distance. And then I'm also taking their temperature every day before practice. So, if it's above a certain temperature, they got to go home. But, I mean, so far everything, has been smooth. They've been passing every temperature test. They've been staying distance. So that really hasn't, made a big impact on practice. I mean, obviously we want to go play, but practice-wise, we've been able to get everything done other than these snow days the past, 2-3 days. But
in terms of recruiting,
it's, it's still been simple. I'm still able to make Zoom calls, do Skype, do FaceTime, talk with recruiters. So it really hasn't been that big of an impact, international based, but I mean, I still haven't been able to recruit any, Americans, which I want to. So that has been, that has taken a huge effect. But other than that, it's been pretty good.
Okay. Let's talk about a little bit about yourself over there and how have you adjusted to liberal Kansas and, going seeing the community so far?
Oh, I mean, everybody's been so nice, been so welcoming to me. I already had, lunch over at the country club. I have dinner with my team tonight. They invited us over. So, but it's been so welcoming. I mean, everybody's been willing to lend a hand. Everybody's been willing to help me, to adjust. I've been here 2 weeks and I already feel like I'm one of, I'm a liberal guy now. So it's been great. Everybody's been so nice.
So as a liberal, that's always one of the things of being rural and remote. Has that affected you at all? You're from El Paso and you've been in Wisconsin. I mean, has the size of the town or the remoteness, ruralness, gotten something that you had to adjust to?
Yeah, I mean, a couple of my colleges that I went to and, that I coached for and played for, they were small, so I'm used to it. But I mean, I just like that everybody knows everybody type of, you know, community, and that's how it is here. And so, you know, I'm hoping I get to know everybody here pretty soon because I love it. I love that small town vibe. It's been great. The only thing I don't like about Liberal, Kansas is the wind. That's the only thing that's killing me. There's nothing to block it.
I think that you wouldn't be in the minority about that. So
yeah.
Mitch, you got anything else that you want to add or want to say to the community or the fans?
Yes, absolutely. I would love to, you know, get with the tennis community more. I would love to, you know, get with just the community in general. I would love to get to know each and every one of them. And a big thing with my internationals is hosting families. And so if there's anybody out there that is willing to lend a hand, you know, willing to house one of my players, that would be incredible. And I mean, that's the only biggest thing with me, but I would love to get to know each and every one of them.
Yeah, one of the great things about that is with your internationals is that, you know, before the pandemic, they would go out into the community quite a bit, and people would just be totally fascinated by that. And unfortunately, you know, with the restrictions and such, we haven't had as much community involvement. But I'm sure that you know that they're an incredible part of this community, and people are just absolutely really want to know more about that. And hopefully, as the pandemic sort of slows down, we'll be able to have more interaction, like going to the schools or having activities that will involve them.
I can't wait for, you know, everything to calm down because, I mean, you know, I wanted to plan a couple fundraisers, and, you know, it's just kind of hard to do that now. So I'm just waiting it out, you know, trying to use my platforms, you know, to try to reach out to the community as best I can. So this was great. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Mitch, we appreciate you taking the time. We're looking forward to another great season in the spring, and I'm sure that you'll have plenty of success.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.